One love, God bless. Fire Nelson here, and today I'm here to talk to you about freeing the self from suffering. So, how do we free ourselves from suffering? This is the big question. We don't want to live in a society or live in a lifetime where we are constantly suffering with addiction or depression or anxiety or, unhealthy weights, unhealthy body image, unhealthy self-image, unhealthy habits, whether it's smoking or drinking or eating or sexual. There's many habits and things that we can build up in our life, and they become normal to us. So to free yourself from suffering, first and foremost, we have to look at these habits that we build up in life that we call normal, whether it's something society says is normal, or your parents have said is normal, or your family have said is normal, or just yourself said is normal. Most things that people state as normal isn't really that normal. We have to free ourselves from suffering by freeing ourselves from burdens of society, from burdens of outside gratification that these things bring. Once we realize that true serenity, true happiness, true unity with the universe, once we realize that this starts within, then we'll be more pleased with our daily life, whether it's us actually accomplishing something big that day, or whether it's we just simply do our spiritual practices, a little bit of chores, and are done with our day. So lots of times I even want to make more out of my time. I want to do more with my time, and I have many projects that I would love to put more energy into. But one thing that doesn't get me stressed out, or doesn't let me get stressed out, is my spiritual practices. If you focus on your spiritual practices first and foremost, especially if you're able to knock these practices out, I don't want to say knock. If you're able to enjoy these practices earlier in the day, earlier in the morning, even before sunrise, then the rest of your day goes smoother because it opens you up to the universe so that you are able to receive as well as give. It is metaphorically filling your cup back up, because when we get so depleted, that's when we fall into these stages of suffering. That's when we fall into these mindsets and to these negative thoughts that creep in when we have too much idle time. So the big thing about ending suffering is, number one, sticking to your spiritual practices. Be very disciplined in them. Daily spiritual practices. That is meditation. That is praying. That is yoga. That is reading. That is journaling. These are at least 4 tasks that we should be doing every single day, no matter how long of a time we spend on it or how short. We should be doing all these tasks at least 10 to 15 minutes a day. And doing this will open you up to more blessings and more awareness, so that you aren't caught up in the ways that society tends to be suffering. I don't even stress about bills even more the way that I used to, because I have truly been able to align my spirit and my mind with the universal laws, with the ways that Yahweh has gifted us, with the abundance that has been gifted to us from birth. And I don't have anybody coming banging on my door. I don't have anybody come hassling me when I am late to pay rent. But it always gets paid because I put in the work. I am working. I am putting the effort toward making sure that this goal is complete, and this burden that I have accumulated, it isn't a burden to me anymore. It is just a simple chain that is still holding me to society. But the more and more that I realize what it takes to be free in this life, the more I realize true freedom comes with having patience. True freedom comes with having silence. True freedom comes with just taking the time to sit down, breathe, calm your mind, and just chant. The reason I chant and the mantra that has came to me is Om Mani Padme Hum. This is my mantra that has been brought to me through the spirits. The reason I chant for my meditation mainly, instead of doing an affirmation meditation, is because it makes me shut down my mind. It trains me to not think, simply to not think. It trains me to only focus on opening myself up as a lotus flower to the universe in whatever ways that the universe brings its blessings. Sometimes there will be hardships. Sometimes there will be situations that do put stress on you. But the amount of stress and the amount of time that is spent in that stressful mind state is now shortened to maybe an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes here and there. But it's very, very minuscule compared to the stress that I even used to have when it comes to making sure rent was paid or making sure that I was putting enough effort and time into other aspects of my life. Now I can only put aspects into my spiritual practices, into some reading, and I'll be gratified with that. I will be completely at peace with that alone. Yes, it would be a bonus if I could indulge in this project that I know I want to do. It's not that I need to do it. It's that I want to do it because I know if I indulge in this project, if I indulge in even doing this YouTube video, it's going to help further me along in the process of walking the divine path where I'm supposed to be walking on. I'm not supposed to be here in these concrete walls in this structure of Babylon like I am now even. I need to be in some beautiful wood cabin on the beach somewhere, with a big garden in the back and in the front. But I no longer let it stress me out. I no longer let society stress me out because I know how to calm my mind. This is the importance of chanting and as well as all your spiritual practices. It helps you get in balance and get a good foundation of where your mindset is at and where most of your day takes you. Especially when you sit down and journal, you'll start to realize, I don't want to write about this stuff. I don't want to keep writing about this stuff. Yes, of course, we're writing about our meditation. Maybe one might write about their dreams or just write about daily insights that they have. But through these writings, you're also writing out your day. What history are you going to leave? What legacy are you going to leave? Are you just going to talk about, I went to my 9 to 5, then I went home and watched Netflix, then I ate a bunch of food. Then I felt sick from eating so much food. Then I took a shower. Then I still ate some more, got some sweets, got a little cake. And then I watched some more Netflix and went to bed. Is that how you want to journal out your day? I don't think it is, After a while, it's going to get tiring. After a while, you're going to see a pattern. And you're going to realize, oh, I'm not putting in the work to not suffer. So why do I think that I deserve to not feel like I'm suffering? I don't worry about if I have to pay these bills or if these bills are late, because I know I'm putting in the work. I know that there is work behind me. There is stuff that I'm going to get fruit from because I have put in the work. We can't be free from suffering unless we put in the first work. Unless we put in the forework. Like I said earlier, it's best if you do your spiritual practices in the morning, and then you do another one at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. But you want to get into the habit of doing these spiritual practices. Even if you miss the one in the morning, make sure you make the one around between 5 and 7 p.m. I find is the best time. Make sure you're journaling, at least 3 little sections of your day. In the morning you journal, what time you woke up, how you're feeling. When you get home from your work or from whatever you're doing, journal again, before or after your meditation around 6. And then journal again at night, right before you go to bed. And really start looking at your day and seeing if you truly think that you deserve to be free from suffering. We all deserve to be free from suffering, but have you put in the work to truly deserve that feeling of freedom? The truth is, we are all not suffering at all. We are all only being guided. Some of us are being pushed, We are only being guided to our best and highest self. We're only being guided to build a closer connection with Yahweh, to the Most High, to the Lord, to Allah, whatever you call, to Buddha. We are only being guided to strengthen our connection with that divine source so that we can come to that realization or that remembrance that we are divine beings. And once you truly know that, you will no longer be a sheep to these lower vibrations of thinking, these lower vibrations of feeling. You no longer feel anger. You no longer feel pain even. And when I say no longer, of course, spits and spouts and little driplets are going to come up here and there. I mean, this is life. But the more and more you practice it, eventually you will not feel these things. The more you practice your spiritual practice, the less you will feel these things until you just don't. And this is the truth. Luckily, I was blessed early in my journey to quit drinking alcohol cold turkey. And I was blessed after a month, 2 months, 3 months to not even feel an urge to go back. Now, an urge does come, but it's very, very rare. Super, super rare. And it's not a pooling urge. It's not like it's keeps popping up in my head throughout the day just because it popped up one time. No, it pops up and then it goes within 10 minutes. But this takes cultivating. This takes time. And we all slip up sometimes. This is very, very important to know. We cannot get down on ourselves if we slip up. If we slip up, it's really just trying to push us closer to our spiritual practice. If we slip up, then we have too much time in our hands. If we slip up, then we have too much time on our hands. You should be doing your spiritual practices every single day for an hour to 2 hours a day. You do this, trust me, you will not slip up. It's only when you let laziness creep in. It's only when you let boredom creep in. It's only when you let a wandering mind go off into its own place. It's only when you let society creep in that we tend to slip up, that we tend to forget our divinity, that we tend to forget that everything is all right and everything is guiding us to our best and highest self. We must be patient with ourselves, be patient with others, and realize when we have these emotions, these feelings, these cravings that come up, and instead of indulging into them or just letting yourself think about them, get busy, go do something. It's time to go do something. Go take a walk. And while you're taking that walk, listen to a video like this. Listen to some spiritual wisdom while you're on that walk. And trust me, you'll forget about doing this temptation. You'll forget about falling into a way of a lower vibration. I want to read something from a book that I've been reading. It's called People of the Lie, The Hope for Healing Human Evil. And they made a very, very profound point about Satan and Lucifer. And me personally, I didn't believe in Satan, nor do I truly believe in Satan as its own spirit being. But I feel like Satan is more of an illness. Evil is more of an illness. You know, Lucifer, Satan, the devil, all these things are, you know, negative emotions creeping in, and you forgetting your divine connection. You thinking that the whole world is against you, or that you have to take the world by storm because no one's listening to you. But let's hear what they say. Let's hear what they say. So he says, while my experience is to the doctrine of Satan, I have learned nothing that fails to support. According to the myth doctrine at the beginning, according to this myth and doctrine, talking about the Bible and stuff like this, in the beginning, Satan was God's second in command, chief among all his angels, the beautiful and beloved Lucifer. The service it performed, talking about Lucifer, the service that Lucifer performed in God's behalf was to enhance the spiritual growth of human beings through the use of testing and temptation, just as we test our own children in school so as to enhance their growth. Satan therefore was primarily a teacher of mankind, which is why was called Lucifer. Satan therefore was primarily a teacher of mankind, which is why it was called Lucifer. And Lucifer translates to the light bearer. The light bearer. This is what Lucifer used to be called by. So that's a perfect example right there how every single thing in this universe is here to guide us, closer to Yahweh, closer to God, closer to the Most High. Every single thing in this world, this universe, is only here to guide us closer to the Most High. They're saying the most wicked energy in this world is only here to guide you closer to the Most High. So whatever you're struggling through, it is only there for you to go deeper into your spiritual practices, deeper into your connection with the Most High. Don't let it discourage you and fall into worshiping Satan. We don't want to worship our negativity. We want to worship our suffering. And by worshiping, I mean constantly thinking about these things, constantly thinking of the next bad thing that's bound to happen, constantly thinking of these bills we have to pay. That's worshiping Satan. That's worshiping the negative in your life. We want to worship the positive in our life. What is good? What have we put work behind that we know we're going to be fruitful of later? Because we not only put work behind it, but we put blessings behind it. We put our faith behind it. Faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. We need to realize this faith is within us and let it grow. Let it bloom. Let it branch out. Flower. Let birds come and nest in it. Let us be of service. This is how we free ourselves from suffering. Realizing that even the most evil essence and spirit in this universe is only here for us to become a better person. What is free will if there's not an alternative to good? Free will isn't us all doing good all the time. No, that's not free will. That's you living with a gun behind your head and saying, hey, you better do this or you're going to burn in hell. That's not free will. That's fear. Free will is realizing what is right, realizing what is wrong, and realizing no one's going to intervene, directly or immediately if you do so. It's up to you. But you will bear the fruit of your doings. You plant wicked seeds, you're going to bear a wicked tree. Not wicked and cool, but no, this tree is going to have many branches of suffering, many branches of trials and tribulation, many branches of hurt and pain that you have to go through and you are putting others through. Much loneliness is in this tree. No birds are coming to nest in this wicked tree. But you plant good fruits. You plant good seeds throughout your journey. Everywhere you go, to this person, you plant a good seed. Hey, you look amazing. Oh, I like that outfit. Great haircut. Great smile. You plant seeds here, there. And they will bloom into a beautiful, good plant. People will remember you from years later, like, oh my gosh, I remember him. He was such a good guy. Definitely listen to him. Great guru. I could feel the good energy flowing through him or her. You want to be that person. And this is how you free yourself from suffering. When you create an environment filled with great plants, filled with beautiful plants, filled with seeds of good. Everything in this life is guiding us to the best and highest versions of ourselves. And once you truly come to contact with this, truly realize this, then you will know what it is to feel peace and serenity. 98 to 99% of my life is filled with peace and serenity because I know the divine truth. I don't just say the divine truth. I don't just say I'm a divine spirit. I know. So when people come at me or people talk to me in certain ways or try to lower my vibration, I look at them. I pray for them. I take what they say into consideration, but I don't let it infiltrate my soul and spirit. I take the wisdom that the Most High is trying to show me through this person, but I'm more praying for them. Don't let other people's judgment actually affect you. Easier said than done, I know, but with practice and with divine, constant repetition and remembrance, you will come to that realization that you are always being guided to your best and highest self, and that the world is kind of crazy. Not everything needs to be listened to. Not everyone needs to be listened to. Not everyone's opinions matters, you know? Everybody has opinions. Listen to the words that do matter. Listen to the words in your spiritual books that are aligning exactly with where you're at right now. 10 people could read the Bible and 10 people could give you a whole different interpretation of the same passage. There are things in this world that are for you. There are things in this world that are for you. Simple things in your house, simple things in everybody's house. Don't think just because it's a simple thing that it isn't for you. Moses had a simple stick. He may have even called it a staff. He may have gone that far to call it a staff, you know. But it was a stick, a simple stick. But the Most High said, throw it on the ground. He said, what, this? This is nothing. Found this in the woods. The Most High said, throw it on the ground. Became a snake. So we have to realize the things that are accessible to us. Some of the most common things. A Bible used to be in every single hotel, you know, nightstand and everything. There was a specific message for you. The Most High is always with you. Right here and right here. Realize this and you will be free from suffering. Truly come to this understanding, overstanding, understanding, and you will be free from suffering. You will be free. A guru, I'm slipping on his name right now, but a guru gave a great parable about a lion who was raised with sheep. So this lion thought he was a sheep. Since a little baby cub, he was raised with sheep. So he would baa like the sheep and do things the sheep would, until another lion came along and said, what are you doing? What are you baaing for and all this? And, you know, was kind of laughing at the lion. The lion was confused and said, I'm a sheep. This is what we do. The lion said, no, you're not a sheep. You're a lion, you know? And the sheep wouldn't believe it. I mean, the lion wouldn't believe it. The lion cub, he wouldn't believe it. He said, no, I'm a sheep. I've always grown up with sheep. What are you talking about? There's sheep all around. The lion told the sheep, go look in the water. Look at your reflection. You are a lion. Just like me. So the sheep finally goes. Lion had to guide it to the water. You know, it might have been a journey to get there, just like life. But the sheep finally was able to look at the water. And even then, he was shocked. The sheep, I keep saying the lion cub, the sheep. The lion cub was shocked when he saw that he was not a sheep. The lion cub realized, oh my gosh, maybe I am a lion. So the lion said, yes, go ahead, try this, roar. Sorry, I had to answer something. So the lion cub went ahead and roared, because the big lion said, go ahead, roar like this. Roar, did a big roar. So the lion cub finally did a roar, and he liked it. So he roared again, and he liked it even more. And ever since that day, he no longer was in sheep consciousness. He was conscious that he was a lion. This is what it takes. But the lion cub had to put in work. The lion cub even lived as a sheep for a very, very long time. Lots of us live as sheep for a very long time. And it takes us finally being like, okay, I'll do this goofy thing called meditation and sit down and try it out before we can realize we are a lion. Before we can realize that we are divine. That we are leaders, not followers. Be the shepherd, don't be sheep. It's easy to be a sheep. It's easy to get caught in the illusion of being a sheep. But truthfully, we are all lions. We are all shepherds. We are all here for a divine purpose and a divine reason, not to just till the land for someone else and be fur to people. But this is the society we live in. We live in a society where we're constantly working for others while we just get the bare minimum, while we can just eat like sheep. We work all day, do this all day. We don't know how much we're bringing in to other people, but I'm sure the shepherd is living good. Better than a sheep, at least. But we just are happy with eating. We're like, well, I'm eating and I've got some water, so I'm good. This is society. Sometimes it takes that journey of going to the water and really just taking that wisdom for what it is and saying, oh, I'm going to try it out. Sitting down and meditating, sitting down and journaling, sitting down and praying. And until you get that realization and you finally roar because you felt the Spirit come within you. You felt that Holy Spirit take over. You felt the divine alignment that has been calling you all this time. You finally realize, oh my gosh, this happened in my life for this reason, so I could be here, and this happened for this, and this. I met this person perfect time, and this book is already here, and I didn't even know why I got it for free. But once you finally get into that synchronization, it's like waking up and realizing you're a lion, and you just want to keep roaring. You're like, I want to get more of this every single day. This is what meditation, this is what prayer, this is what journaling, this is what yoga will do for you. It's not a joke, it's not a game. This is a freedom path to non-suffering. A freedom path to being 98, 99% at peace at all times. It's a serious thing. We should be teaching this to our children. We should be teaching it to our grandchildren. We should be teaching it to our grandparents. Everything in this life is pushing us and guiding us to our best and highest self. Even Lucifer was called the bearer of light. Nothing in this life is not for you. If you are watching this and you gave up on the Most High, you gave up on Yahweh, you gave up on God, you gave up on Allah, you gave up on Buddha, you gave up. If you're watching this and you gave up on believing that there is a higher power watching over you, being present in your life, in helping you, then you aren't being patient and you aren't being aware. Because if you're being patient and you're being aware, you can see that every single thing that you prayed for has come to fruition. It may not have happened in the exact time that you wanted it to happen. It may not have happened even in the exact way that you wanted it to happen. But it happened, whether you realize it or not. Anything and everything that you prayed for has came into fruition. It has came true. Just stay patient and stay aware, and you will see this. So if you want to end suffering, build that connection with the Most High. Do the spiritual practices. Put in the work so you don't have to stress about things. When we put in the work, you don't have to stress about bills. When you put in the work, you don't have to stress about life. When you put in the work of meditation, prayer, journaling, reading, yoga, when you put in these works, the universe opens up. Just like you put in work at your job and you do not have to stress about bills. Sometimes we still have to stress about bills, but we don't have to. But sometimes we still stress about bills even when we're putting in the work. And then what do we think? I gotta put in my work. I gotta get another job. I gotta pick up more hours. Just like that same dedication you are to paying the tax man, paying your bills, paying all these unnecessary things that in our life, the same type of motivation you have to go get a second job even though you don't want to, or go pick up more hours even though you don't want to, put that energy into your spiritual practices. The hardest and toughest weeks, I can almost sense now when they're coming. I can sense when there's a big transformation, change, or something like that is going to happen, because I am connected. I do this practice every single day. I don't just come on here and talk about it. These are things I do, and much more. I do much more than what I say here. But by doing these things, it helps me focus and see the blessing that is trying to manifest, see the blessing that is trying to unfold itself. And when times of serious confusion in my life, or times where I just know it's going to be a hard week or hard month, I'll fast for a week. Maybe I won't eat for 2 days. And then the rest of the time I'll only eat fruit, or only eat at night, or only eat before 7. But I do some type of fast, some type of either intermediate fasting, or like I said, I just won't eat for 2 days and only drink tea and water. And during this time, I'll focus that extra time and energy, because cooking and eating and all these things, it takes time and energy, whether we know it or not. But I'll use that extra time and energy to focus on what Yahweh is trying to guide me to realize. I'll meditate even more. I'll read even more, journal even deeper, pray even harder and more. In 10 out of 10 times that I've attempted this process of finding clarity through fasting, clarity through diving deeper into my spiritual practices, I always get the results that I want. I always find the realization, the deep over and understanding that I was searching for. I always find the answer. Strengthen yourself. This is how you end yourself from suffering. Realize that you have a divine connection. Be aware, be patient. You will see the synchronization start to form in your life in so many ways, and it's beautiful. I'm not only talking about angel numbers, seeing 333, 444, 1111. I'm talking about things really lining up in your life. You're walking and you find a book that is calling to you. You're talking and someone speaks this certain phrase that you have been thinking about for so long, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to talk about this with someone. Blah, blah, blah. I can't believe you just mentioned that. Like, oh yeah, 369 theory, blah, blah. Like, these are situations that happen to me all the time. It's beautiful to live in a flow with the universe, to the point where I sit in my meditation and I only chant Om Mani Padme Hum. That's all I chant. It's very rare that I chant an affirmation. You know, in my early journey, I was chanting a bunch of affirmations. I am wealthy. I am wealth. I am successful. I am love. I am healed. But you get to a certain point when you realize you are divine and you need nothing but silence in your mind, so that you can focus on that beautiful light within, that beautiful sound within. I ask for nothing. I only pray and thank the Most High for the continued wealth, the continued abundance, the continued love, continued patience, continued peace that you not only put in my life, but for I and I's life. For me, for you, for my family, for my loved ones, for my friends and my enemies, and my pets. They're my family. Come to this place with me. Come to this vibration with me. Do your spiritual practices. Enhance them. Add things on. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to fast, but you have to meditate. You have to pray. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have to. It's only going to benefit you. When you're feeling lost in temptation, and temptation is what really brings you into suffering, because you're tempted, you want this, or you're tempted so you do this, then you feel bad after because you know you shouldn't have been doing it. You know you shouldn't have been eating it. No, you shouldn't have been saying it. No, you shouldn't even been thinking it. Free yourself from temptation. And when you feel these temptations come up, go to your spiritual practice. Or go in the woods. Go in some nature. Go to the beach. But get your mind out of this lower vibration. And you will end suffering in your life. So I appreciate everybody that listened all the way to the end. I know this is a longer video than I normally do, but this is around the timing that I feel like I truly want to get to and want to explain stuff to you guys, but I just don't want to overflood your ear. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate everybody that was able to last this long, and you truly have divine patience. You truly have that divine guidance pulling you to a higher place, and that's why you have lasted this long. You have the awareness, just now cultivated with faith, and you will end suffering in your life. If you haven't, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and I appreciate everybody that's already doing that. And I hope you have a blessed journey and a blessed day. And don't let the weight of life, the weight of what society tells you how heavy life should be, determine how you feel on the inside. You are divine. You are perfect. You are enough, and you do enough. But just make sure you're doing your spiritual practices every single day. One love.